So, listen, this may be the last day of Women in Automotive 2023. Gotta do it one more time. Recharge! But we're not letting our foot off the gas, all right? Today's opening keynote presenter, she is a firecracker. She is an automotive industry veteran with over 3 decades of experience. My God, talk about staying power. She is the CFO at Headquarter Automotive, and she is celebrating her 26th year at Headquarter Automotive. Wow. Amazing. And from what I understand, she started her career at Headquarter Automotive 26 years ago as the office manager. And since then, has just consistently risen up the ranks. She's held numerous positions within the organization, each one more instrumental to the dealer group's profitability, operation, and growth than the last. And now she's the CFO. And she's incredibly passionate about empowering women in and out of the automotive industry. And she's taken on numerous mentorship roles. This morning, Judy's going to speak about her journey, how she evolved to where she is now. And you know what? She's not done yet. The title of her presentation is, I Said Yes. Will you? Hell yeah, I will. Let's give a nice, warm WIA welcome to Judy Farkas.
I've been waiting to speak to you. So thank you for coming today, and thank you, Women in Automotive. This is such a pleasure and a gift. So today, I want to talk to you about what the word yes means to me. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a daughter, I'm a boxer mom, I'm a CFO of a 4-rooftop automotive group with a rental agency and an aviation department. I also am on some committees and some boards, the Miami Lakes Veterans Committee, Miami-Dade Public Schools. I'm the treasurer of my homeowners association, and I just was appointed to the Florida Automobile Dealers Association. I'm a board member. So I'll be going to Tallahassee to help pass laws and keep our industry intact. And today I'm going to share with the word yes, the impact that it has had on my career for 37 years. Who here aspires to be a COO or CFO or a general manager? Can I see your hands? Great. So jump in the car with me and let's move for a ride, for my ride, my journey. So it's 1986, and my best friend at the time, she says, you gotta come work at this dealership with me. You're gonna love it. I love it here at Meridian Chevrolet. And I said, well, yeah, that sounds great because I work at McDonald's. So I said my most first seemingly small yes. And I'll never forget my first leader, my first automotive boss, Donna Nels. And she was an eloquent woman that was just her heart was with us. And let me tell you what I used to wear to work on the weekends. So, that's me on the left. That's Rhonda, my best friend. The club was like right over here by work, and my house was all the way over there, and I was still in high school. So I said, well, the best idea would be to save time, get ready for the club, so I didn't have to go home and change and waste gas. And I'll never forget the Donna Nels talk, and she said something like, honey, come with me. And I said, oh, okay, no, everything's fine, nothing could be wrong, right? And she goes, no, come to my office and sit down. I'm like, okay. And she said something like, and I don't remember the words, but I remember how she made me feel. And she told me, honey, you can't dress like that to work. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I had no idea. So she taught me. But what she really taught me was my very first leadership skill that I saved for 37 years. How to speak to somebody, how to help somebody when they need help, when they need to dress for success and they don't realize that they're not. So I carried that for 37 years with me. And I have associates now that if they're not dressing for success, I just tell them the not story. I don't even have to do it. And then they know, and they love it. And it works. So I remember on Saturdays when I was being a cashier and an operator and performing other tedious tasks. I worked for Mike Maroney, which probably some people may know who he is. He was actually one of the co-founders of Automation, and at the time he had one dealership. And I'd be on the phones alone, they'd be ringing, and he'd always call on Saturday. I'd pick up the phone, and he would say something like, "Hi Judy, is everything okay?" And that meant the phone rang probably 4 times, not 3. And that was the way that you knew that you had to just do better. And he had this leadership approach of helping people just be their best. Another one I saved for 37 years. So now it's 1987, and I'm getting ready to graduate high school, and I've actually already applied to art school and been accepted. And Donna says something like, "Honey, Mike has got an Oldsmobile dealership, and we want you to come work there full time when you graduate high school." And I'm like, wow, I have all this year and a half of huge experience answering telephones. Yes, I love this industry, I want to do it, but I have to talk to my dad. So I go home, and I said, "Daddy, I really love this job, and I want to go work full time. And I'm not going to go to art school, I'm just going to go to community college and take business classes, because I really love this business. Because I knew so much after answering phones for a year and a half. So I went to work the next day, and I told Donna, I'm going to take the job. Even though I never did accounts payable, I didn't know how to do it. I might have filed a little in the summer, but I said, my first, I said all this stuff. And I said yes. And that's right, I said yes. And I got a huge raise from $4 an hour to $7 an hour. Woo! Yeah. So we pack up, go downtown Miami with Donna and the payables clerk and myself, and we come into this huge mess. They sold the store, so I don't think anybody did any work for 3 months. There were bills that were unpaid for months. So we spent the morning organizing, unpiling, fixing everything. And we said, let's go to lunch. The time flew because we were so busy. And we go to lunch, and we go to Burger King. Just walked across the street. So here we are in downtown Miami. I'm from the little suburbs, never really out of my 2 miles. We sit down, we're eating lunch, and I think I finished first. So I just sat there while they were finishing their food, and a gentleman walks up to me, and he says, "Are you finished with your meal?" And I said, "Yes, thank you." So he took my tray, and he went and he sat in the next booth, and he finished my lunch. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? I went into this mess. I don't know really how to do it. I'm in downtown Miami, people are eating my food. But I did it. And I got a week of training, a whole week, and then they never came back. They wouldn't come back downtown again. So thankfully, after about 2 years, Mike Maroney bought another dealership and closer to home. And they asked me if I wanted to take it, and I said, yes. And then I went and met my next mentor, Phil Lynch, who is a really great controller, smart guy, and he was tough, and I needed it. Just remember the clubs, that was still happening. And I remember one day Phil says to me a different talk, which I also didn't forget, but I didn't really file it. I used to call in sick on Mondays a lot. And one day Phil says, "Come here, I want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "If you call in sick on Monday again, I'm gonna fire you." So I never called in sick on Monday, ever again to this day. I learned that one. So after about 5 years with Maroney, I was basically at a little bit of a standstill with progression. And Phil actually decided to leave and go to another dealership. And he asked me if I wanted to go. And I said, oh wow, I really love it here. This is my first automotive job. I know what I'm doing now, I'm established. And you know what I said to him? I said yes. So here we are, in 1991, I moved to another Chevrolet store. And for the next 6 years, I was the fixer, the bookkeeper, and my peers, mostly twice my age, were asking me for help. So my first true leadership moment where I was helping people and lifting them up and showing them how to be better. And in 1997, my mentor was leaving, and we weren't sure if I was going to leave or not. And then AutoNation came in to buy the store. So they came in to do the due diligence, which is a time, if you don't know, where a buyer and seller have a period where they can examine the books and records of the dealership or the business to make sure that everything is as stated in the purchase agreement. So I learned so much. I only have a few years under my belt, but I sit here with Arthur Anderson at the time, digging through books and records and answering questions and figuring out how to answer the questions, because I didn't even know the answers to the questions, but I figured it out. And then, a few months later, they offered me the office manager position at that store. And you know what I said? What did I say? Yes. I said yes. I said yes, and I was promoted to office manager, and that was my first official leadership title. So I'll never forget, a few days later, I signed my first check, and the accounting team took a photocopy of the check and framed it and put it on the wall. It felt really, really good. So after about a few months, I decided to join my mentor. There was a clear and open position where he left, which was way closer to the house. And I told the dealer, I said, I'm going to resign. I'm going to give my notice. And he got so mad at me. He said, what are you doing? I said, you're selling the store. I'll be here. I'll come back. If they need me, if Maria needs me, if anybody needs me, I'll come back and help. And I did. I went back at night a couple times and went back on the weekend a couple times to make sure they were trained. My job and Phil's job. So when Phil offered me the official job at headquarters, do you know what I said? Yes! Yes, I did. I said yes. I said yes. So, 1997, June. There's me. Here's my beautiful ID badge. That was little. So, joining back with my mentor Phil, and actually back with George Cohen, so I failed to mention that a previous store. Phil was the one that recruited Phil, George was the one that recruited Phil and I to the store. And now I was happily working closer to home. And yes, another mess. What a great teacher a mess can be. So it was a lot of challenges I learned and I continue to solve and teach others. The books finally got in good shape. And my amazing husband and I decided it was time. And we had our baby, Justin, 1999. So Justin, I took my maternity leave, which I'll never forget. The 3 months go by like lightning if anybody's done maternity leave and had to go back to work. Really hard decision. Even though I knew I had to go back and I wanted to go back. That day was hard. But I had decided I was going to solely breastfeed him. I made that commitment, so we figured it out. So basically, my day would consist of waking up at about 4 in the morning, pumping, getting all ready, getting myself ready, set the pump up, put it away, put it in the suitcase, then wake up Justin, feed him, then get him all ready, jump in the car, take him to my mother-in-law's, who was gracious enough to watch him for 3 years and support this whole thing. And feed him again, real quick, go in there, give her the milk, go to work, work. And I told George, I need a spot to pump. And he's like, don't worry about it, honey. Everybody was from the South, they were with honey. So I'd go in George's office and I would be wheeling around like a carry-on bag, like a flight attendant. And in there was all my equipment, because back then it wasn't nice and portable and small, it was huge. And I just would go in his office and he says, it doesn't matter who's in here, you go and you do it. So, and it was a small office, and I would just roll in there past them, and I'd go into this little tiny bathroom that he had, And they even installed a lid on the toilet so I didn't have to sit on the toilet seat when I pumped. It was great. And I always heard them laughing, and I didn't care. I did it. So then back to work till noon, jump in the car, back to my mother-in-law's, feed Justin, give her the milk. She fed me lunch, back in the car, back to work, pump at 3:30, put it all away, back to work. And then my husband would grab Justin from my mother-in-law's and hurry up home, feed Justin, and then, the normal night, the dinner, get ready for tomorrow, walk the dog, have family time. So I want you to know you can have a family and a career. You can have children, you can breastfeed, you can go back to work, you don't have to be ashamed. And if you don't want to go back to work, you don't have to be ashamed either. But I did it, and it worked. And I had a support group. I had a supportive employer, I had a supportive family, I had a hungry child. So it worked. And then 2 years later, I'll never forget. Remember George, the one that recruited us? He said to me out of the blue, for me, would you like the controller position? And I said, wait, and so it's all adding up now. Okay, my mentor's gone. I'm not sure if I know how to do all of this stuff yet. I didn't think I even knew enough to accept the job. But you know what I said? Yes! I said yes. And I figured it out, and I learned it along the way. I worked really long hours, and I pushed my way through. And I want to talk to you about opportunities, especially females. So, like I told you, I was like, do I even know enough to do this job? I said yes. I was fearless, I feared less, as Lisa Copeland would say. So, females, maybe in this situation, 1 or 2 would say yes to something like this, just because of the way we're wired. But I want you to understand that you have all of that. That's your you space. That's your yes space in there, yours. So think about it when you're offered opportunities, and don't think that you don't know enough. So it can be hard. It can be hard to do something new, and it's okay to be a little bit afraid. And we make things hard on ourselves, and we don't have to. So networking is really a helpful way to learn new things and to get out of when you're stuck. So I would call a veteran controller who we were frenemies, and we became friends, and now we really love each other. And I'd call her and I'd say, just technical stuff that I didn't want to beat my head into the ground too hard and waste too much time. So I'd call her, and she was always very helpful, and she would help me. And I looked everywhere for every resource I could for help. So over the next 7 years of learning and experience with Headquarter Toyota, I started getting new responsibilities, like being presented with big piles of paper like this. And I don't know if my friends are here from the automotive purchasing people, but people would be selling their dealerships. And the pile of paper was about this big back then, to look at a deal to see if it was worth buying the dealership or not. So I would spend maybe a week or 2 on some of these presentations, just to give the dealer, my next mentor, Veronica Esteve, to see, he said, what's your opinion, Judy? What do you think about this? And I would say, well, this looks like a good one. The market's tough, or this is a little bit expensive, but I think we can make it work. Or, yeah, this is a great one, let's do it. And after having drawers and drawers full of those presentations, he calls me and says, oh, I'm sorry, skipping ahead. So the first dealership that I built was in 2010. And besides looking at deals in paper boxes and cardboard, I would go to manufacturers and pitch them with my dealer principal and the VPs. Something I'd never done before, and I did it. I went with them, and I would learn, and I would maybe stay quiet for a lot of time, but then I would start speaking. Thank you. Thanks. But when I have something to add to these pitches, which are big boardrooms, we went to Gulf States Toyota, cowboy boots and cowboy hats. I was maybe one of the few or only women in the room.
but I would do it, and I would speak up when I had something to add to this. And in 2008, we went to Honda Motors, and we pitched, and we got the franchise. So now it's time to build a store that I've never done before. Build a store, clear land, work on construction, get permits, get environmental studies done, remove wildlife, pay for it, build infrastructure, water. If you see a street and there's businesses, but there's none at the end, there may not be water and sewer going there. You have to build that and pay for that, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But I learned it as I went along. So we got the store, we built it, we hired some incredible people, we had a job fair. Remember, we had 25 openings for this job fair. And it was in 2010 when Disney was laying off, everybody's laid off, and we had 300 people wrapped around the Hampton Inn to interview for these 25 jobs. News helicopters were flying over, it was a big deal. And I met some incredible people, some of which are still with us. One is with us now today. So now it's late 2015, and back to pitching again, Mazda. And we got another franchise. But now I have 3 dealerships, and I have to build a 4th, and still keep all the records and books and everything straight and keep everything going. Well, my poor office manager, Ron, is losing her mind with me. And it was hard. I really wanted to do it. I thought I could do it, but I couldn't. I was stretched too thin, and they knew. And finally I was relieved that my VP said, okay, we're gonna get you some help. Like, thank God, finally. So at this point I was already acting as the CFO. Nobody really called me the CFO. Maybe a couple times I had it, but I was acting as it. And then the great day came. I met this person. I had been after her for such a long time. I literally stalked her. And I remember the day I called her and I said, have you had enough yet? Do you want to finally come and join me? And you know what she said? Yes. She said yes. So I have this incredible, fantastic controller now that works for me. Can you please just stand up, Cheryl? So now, it's time to do it again. It's time to do it again, but now I have Cheryl.
Yes.
Right on.
It got a lot better. It went a lot faster. I built 3 stores. She helped me build this 4th store. It was incredible. So you can't do things alone. You need a team. You need a tribe. You need to lift up the others up along the way. Cheryl was an assistant controller where she was. She became our controller, now she's our corporate controller. And she's on her path, and she knows where she's going. So now I'm able to do what I really love to do, which is to focus on my people, to develop leaders, our leaders, develop our future leaders. And I have to do other things like strategic planning and look at more deals, and hopefully we'll get a few more because I really want 10. So we'll need a few more Cheryls and Rhondas to help us. But developing our team is by far my most favorite thing to do. So I just want to share a couple of really, really cool things that are in my heart and important. And remember, this is my 37-year career. I've painted my own painting on a blank canvas, and I didn't go to art school. So if you see in the middle on the bottom, that's one of our top salesmen, Franklin, and we were running thin with online reviews, so I created the Headquarter Automotive 5-star Wall of Fame. So I created the whole template. I love my marketing, but I wanted to get it done fast, so I created my own marketing template, and it's hard to see, but it's like a cell phone, and we scrape the reviews off of Google, and then I communicate these reviews every week with all 4 of our stores, all of our leaders, so it's about a 50-person email. I attach the reviews, and I write the person's name, and I pull important things from the review. They were patient, they were kind, they were knowledgeable, they were helpful. I'll never go anywhere else again for service. The things that we need to be different, the things that we need to succeed. So this wall got so much hype at our Toyota store. I did one first. That's where I usually sit for most of the time. And a customer went to one of the salespeople and said, "I want my review on the wall." I'm like, wow, this was like a huge plus, a huge benefit that we want. The customers are asking for them. The associates are excited about being recognized. Everybody's trying to be greater. It's contagious. So the Wall of Fame was created. I scaled it to all 4 stores, and it's doing great. It has its own little life. And then if you see the Headquarter Help shirt, that's our division that I created for our organization to volunteer in the community, to go to schools, to go to Veterans Affairs, to go to the town. Actually, right now, as I'm speaking, I have 3 Headquarter Helps ambassadors giving out school supplies for our local town. Yeah. I'm always with them, but I'm working with them today. So yeah, and the Headquarter Helps is fun, and when somebody volunteers for more than 2, I buy them a pair of red chucks to match their red shirt. Yeah, it's really fun. And just to name a few things, like we have fun at work, and so I'm kind of smoothing into the COO spot. We won't make it too public, I guess. But I am the Chief Culture Officer, and that's for sure. We have great people that know how to sell cars. Great people that we help with processes. That's Cheryl's job, to make sure everybody's doing the processes, so we do it good and right, and legally. So I can have fun with all these things and create an organization with a culture, a place where people feel like they're giving back to the community. They want to work with us, be with us, have fun with us, advance their careers with us. My wall of have that daily dose of kindness. That's on my glass. That's my office on the top right, left. And there's little notes that say, "You are amazing. You are loved." Just different notes, and actually I ask people to write them for me, so the people that write them feel good when they write them. And then customers take them, and the associates take them, and then I just refill the wall when it runs out. And these are just a few things in we do our Halloween stuff. We try to have fun. We work really hard, so having fun is important. So my 37-year career has been a blank canvas, as I said, and I painted my own painting, like things like that. And I want to remind you, saying yes is important. I did say yes, but I also didn't say yes to some stuff. So I measured these opportunities and made sure they were the right ones before I said yes. I was with 3 automotive dealers in 37 years. And the one I'm with now is 26 years. And the top things that have helped me the most and gotten me where I am today are that I have confidence in myself. I'm not living in a space of fear. I know I was capable of doing what I'm doing. I've stopped asking for permission. And I've advocated for myself as well while I was advocating for others. And my major why is because I love people, and I want to make them better and feel better and do better. So I'll wrap up with a really great story. In February, I got this text. And Jennifer is a young lady that worked for us in 2018, 2019, and maybe into 2020 for a few minutes. And when I went to Women in Automotive in 2019, there was a speaker, her name was Bogey, and she just really hit me. And it's an all-female build in Phoenix, Arizona, and anybody can come to help build this car. I assume she's probably still doing it. So no matter what you know, you go, she gives you something to do, whether you're a technician or a CFO. So I asked Jennifer, I said, "Do you want to do it? Do you want to go?" When I got back from that Women in Automotive, "Do you want to go do this?" And she said, "Yes." So we sent her to go, and she loved it. But what I really got from Women in Automotive from 2019 was that I need to get out of my office. I'm mentoring my people, the ones that are in my proximity, but there are a lot of people in the organization that need the same thing. So that really got us a lot closer. I was able to open my door to Jennifer. She would come in, we would talk, we would go over stuff. And unfortunately, she left. And that's okay. She found a different opportunity. But we stayed in touch. We stayed in touch on Instagram, mild touch. But I got this text. And I said, "Well, are you going to Women in Automotive?" And then we went through all these texts, on how to do it. And I said, "Ask your employer to send you and do it. It's professional development, it's personal development." And she went back and she asked, and they gave her the time off. And we needed a little more help to get her here. And I'm like, "Let me help you." No, I can do it myself. I said, just give me one try. I want to do it. We have so many women on Facebook groups that will pay it forward and help this. There's no reason for you to pay for this. So the day after that text, I got an email from a great woman. Her name's Lori Tennant. She's the VP of Sales for Dealerware. She says, Judy, we want you to speak to our company for Women's Month. We don't have a lot of money, but we'll pay you $1,000. I said, I know exactly what we're gonna do with that money. So Jennifer, can you just stand up? This is her first Women in Automotive. She She's a team leader now. She's a team leader now, and she brought her team. She brought babies with her. Daisy can stand up there for Thank you, Daisy. Thank you for coming. That's their first time here, and I'm so glad that they came. And we got to spend more time together. So, but the real reason why I'm able to do all that I do is because of my team. And I just want to take a real quick second to introduce them, because some of them are here. So Rhonda, our office manager of over 20 years and my best friend in the world, and the most practically smart woman I've ever met. Please stand. Oh. And when I opened that Honda store 13 years ago, and I was like, I don't know Honda, I know Chevy, I know Toyota, we hired Jennifer. Jennifer DeLose, can you stand up? She's still with us. She's our office manager. She's amazing. And Nicole. Where's Nicole? Hello. So we have this really amazing fixed ops director, who's now our platform fixed ops director. And he saw it a long time ago that females on the service drive are a really, really good idea. Yeah. A really good idea. So he was having lunch at a restaurant near the store, and Nicole was a server at a sports bar. And somehow he said to her that you need to come work for us, you need to be a service advisor. And Nicole said something like, I don't know anything about cars. And he goes, we can teach you cars, we just can't teach you this, and you have this. She has the heart, she has the servant heart. So Nicole joined us, she said yes, and she joined our service drive at Honda, and she became our top advisor. And Mr. Gifford had over half of our advisors were females, and still are. That's our most dominated female service driver group. So remember that Mazda store we got in 2016? She's our parts and service director. So I really want to thank you for listening to me and being here today. Women Automotive is a great opportunity. It's taught me so much. I don't know how many I've been to, maybe 5 or 6. And I always try to go and meet and learn new things and meet new people, which I've done today. And this week it's been so fast. But thank you board. Thank you, Veronica. I really appreciate it. This was great.